that owns this town.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. In today's game, we have a matchup of two top-shelf wide receivers. It's Jordy Nelson going up against Dez Bryant. On the call here tonight, let's send it out to our guys in the booth. That's Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go! And hello again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton here in the booth. And Chuck, you take a look at this matchup. I don't know if it's going to be one in the trenches from the quarterbacks out, whatever. It's going to be a good game.
Oh, without a doubt. I can't wait to see the big fellas have an impact. We're always spotlighting those wide receivers and quarterbacks and running backs and even the defensive backs. But the big guys, I can't wait to see which one tilts the balance for their team.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and off we go from Lambeau. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And this Green Bay Packers offense will be commanded by Aaron Rodgers. Season 2016, Charles, obviously didn't end the way they wanted to, but what a run for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers from 4-6 to the NFC Championship game.
And that's what we'll remember the most, right to the brink of going to another Super Bowl for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. But I can't help but reflect on the 4-6 start. So many people were questioning Aaron Rodgers during that time. What was wrong with his mechanics? Why weren't they doing things a certain way? He answered those critics in a massive way.
Last 11 games, 30 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Rodgers now on first down. And his first look is incomplete. And a wide receiver to watch in this offense, certainly Jordy Nelson.
And most defenses watch him run past them. Jordy Nelson can run every route in the route tree and take it to the house.
So 2nd and 10 here. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Morris Claiborne is a former first-round pick at quarterback with skills that can match up with anyone when he's at his best.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. taken in at the 22. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. As the Cowboys take the field, they're led out by the AP Offensive Rookie of the Year, and that's Dak Prescott. And while that's a great award, he had a great season. For Cowboy fans, the season ended shy of where they wanted to, but still a lot for them to build on going forward.
And as time goes on, I think those Cowboy fans will reflect on the season. And when you look back at the game that they lost, when they lost to Green Bay in the playoffs, you realize Dak Prescott played really well in that game. So that's got to give them a lot of hope going forward. But I thought the best moment so far in the offseason outside of winning the Super Bowl, Dak Prescott winning the Rookie of the Year award and saying Ezekiel Elliott should have half of this award. We should cut it in.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant, 61 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
They'll try and throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken about the 12. Oh, the spin. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Offense still needing 10 yards, 2nd down. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here come the Cowboys. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Okay, starting lineup time offensively, Charles, for the Dallas Cowboys.
And how about them at number 4 in the 2016 draft? Big needs on the defensive line, and they go with the running back.
They go star power.
They went star power, but Ezekiel Elliott, in a lot of ways, was exactly the right decision. When they had winning success in 2014, they did it running the football. Elliott can do that for them again.
A second down throw for Prescott. Deep drop. He's going to let it go again. That's caught inside the 20. A big play here for Dallas. 49 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. One man in the backfield, Elliott. Throwing, Prescott. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Clay Matthews is an absolute force. Multiple Pro Bowls as an outside linebacker. He can swing inside and create the same havoc.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. To throw is Prescott. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Now let's see the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth. Charles, that's an important third down stop. You don't want to spot him 2 touchdowns here early.
You're trying to slow momentum down. You've already given up the score. They're coming right back at you. You're exactly right. Being able to hold them there and force a decision on fourth down, that's big for the defense.
The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will make our score 9-0. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Set to return, this is Jeff Janis. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now back onto the field, here comes the Cowboys defense. They're just looking to duplicate what they did last time, force the 3 and out, and that led to a field goal.
The only thing better, really, is creating a turnover. 3 and out, get off the field, feel good about yourself, turn the ball over to your offense, and they put the ball through the post with a field goal.
They're probably pretty well rested after that 3-and-out, too.
One would think. That's how you get it done. Create the 3-and-outs, get to the bench, get your rest, and hope your offense can control the game.
Rodgers now to throw. His throw incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Ten yards still left on second down. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Working from the gun. Rodgers. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. We get a look at the Packers defense as they work their way into position. And 3 points surrendered on the last drive against them. They bent a little bit, but they didn't break.
I like that, and that's not always wrong. We run into a lot of coordinators that talk about, well, if I give up 3 points, my whole day's ruined. Actually, it's not. Just giving up field goals usually gives your team a chance to win if you're playing good defense.
Yeah, especially in the National Football League. One man in the backfield, Elliott. They go play action here on 1st down. And he floats one there, incomplete. Gavin Escobar, his big tight end, was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They come out here in the eye. Back near his goal line, it's Prescott surveying the field. He's going to float this one. And got his man, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, 97 yards. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. So from back deep in their home territory all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked.
Let's go!
They'll try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it now. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. He's got time. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to lead to a third down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They stay on the ground on first down with Lacey. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. On second down, Lacey. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. One quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 15-0 our score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. To throw is Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
Plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Jacob Shum now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. And he's been effective in their winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent, and, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you got the guys catching the ball, too. Yeah,
you name it. It's all coming together for them. What they call that synergy. Everything working together really well, and right now he's the focal point of it.
And tough starting field position here. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant, 96 yards. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Caught on the right side by Adams. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
319, 258.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
319.
They run it again with Lacey. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And Nelson's got it here right side. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And the 2016 NFL Comeback Player of the Year was Jordy Nelson. He had a fantastic year after the knee injury in 2015. Well over 1,000 yards again. And once again, he was the #1 target for Aaron Rodgers.
NFL high, 14 receiving touchdowns. What dimension does he add that makes them so good on offense?
Dependability as well as speed. Right? Jordy Nelson's the type of guy who can run any route you want, yet he can also take the top off of a defense, as we like to say, by running past people. It's a heck of a combination to deal with. Plus, Aaron Rodgers knows when he gets in trouble, he just looks for Jordy Nelson, and 9.9 times out of 10, he'll find a way to get open.
319.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacy. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. 319.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
319.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Jacob Shum now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. They come up with an offset eye. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott looking deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
And they pick up the first down on a fourth down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped him on third down, or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to take another shot here. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. They'll come out in the pistol. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And it's 3rd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. And again, it's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend their lead even further. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be taken short. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And his throw here's incomplete. All right, different topic here. 2018, the Super Bowl, traveling north, far north to Minneapolis. early predictions for that one? Who you got?
Well, you know, everyone's still waiting in the NFL for a home team to play in its home stadium, right? So could the Vikings be that team? I'll start in the NFC, and I'm going to say no. I think Seattle. Starting to get near that maybe last run with their defense. Earl Thomas returns. I like Seattle coming out of the NFC. How about you?
Well, I'm actually going to take a Dallas Cowboys NFC title run. I think that they came so close this year, probably most talented going into next year.
I like that one. Well, in the AFC, I'm going to go with a team that if they improve their defense and their quarterback stays healthy, they could be that team, the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, I'm going dark horse. Cleveland Browns. Let's go.
Hey, from worst to first.
To throw is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Eddie Lacy, the one he was trying to get it to. And it's 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And not great starting field position here for the offense. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. To throw is Prescott. Backing up. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there just before halftime. And even 50 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Prescott on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Final play of the half. Prescott. He's going to try and go deep again. And that's off the mark, incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Cowboys have been moving the football at will, and the total yardage numbers stand out. The Packers' defense may be getting worn down, but will need to improve to give their offense a chance. All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Down to the middle of the first. Williams is wide open here on the catch. After the long pass, he'll score. The Cowboys go up by 15. 1st and 10. Bryant's got the catch here. After the long pass, he'll score. Cowboys up now by 22. We move late into the second. Will once again sack the QB. This will go for a loss of 8. So that'll wrap it up for us here at the EA Sports Studio. We'll head back now to Green Bay for the start of the second half.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Second down following the incompletion. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. He's going to go up top again. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, his second touchdown of the night. And the Cowboys add on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And they will line up now for the two-point try. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll try and throw for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Offside. Defense. Still first down.
All right, so first down, 5 yards to go. One back is Lacey. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Barry Church, the strong safety, the one to get him down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Again, it's Lacey. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now Rodgers will handle Lacey. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
319! 319!
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help. 9th
play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, I guess we're at the stage here where they wouldn't say no to any points, but I don't think field goals are what they're looking for here in the 2nd half.
I don't either, Brandon. When you're down as much as they are, that's the sign of a head coach waving the white flag to me.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, spinning away. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. First down, Prescott. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and even before we get to the draft, you start with the Combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right?
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, 76 yards. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point try by Bailey. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
319!
They begin the drive with Lacey. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. He dropped an 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
To throw, looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at him. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. Following the interception, here's Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. And he's going to be taken down. He's sacked on the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
Yeah, that, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4.
Here we go!
4th down, Prescott. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley, 26 yards. And the Cowboys add on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
No, she's
on like the 5th tune at this point.
she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Bailey now for the extra point. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this does not end well as he's going to be out of bounds here at his own 5-yard line. The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. And the interception the last time they were out there ended up leading to a touchdown.
So the only thing they didn't get really was the pick 6, because that's what everyone wants. Take it immediately to the end zone, but their offense capitalized on the takeaway and turned it into the 6 points they were looking for.
Yeah, set them up pretty, got the touchdown. Now they're back out there defensively. They'll run the option left. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete.
very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
Mike, check, 59.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 43. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. They go play action here on 1st down. Going up top. And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you've got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try.
3 down, 3 down. Let's go!
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And he coughed it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Cowboys now. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3-and-out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3-and-outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another 3-and-out. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy most likely to bring him down.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Terrell McClain continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Under pressure, they got him again. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
It's taken to the 26.
Whoosh.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Cowboys. Des Bryant, 58 yards. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete, but a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got.
Holding. Defense.
And you as a former defender should know that the referees are watching this closely, defensive holding.
They watch it awfully closely. I sure wish they'd let it be 5.5 yards like they do for the offensive guys, but in this case, they were strict with the rule.
So now they'll try it again as they line up to go for 2. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers finding time. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
319.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
319.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't matter. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Prescott here to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. That was close to a big play and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Prescott, he's going to let it go again. It's caught at the 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see...
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Rodgers to throw on set. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And this is recovered in the end zone. No time on the clock. So it's a late touchdown and certainly a bizarre ending to this game. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
So they're going to go for 2. They'll try and sneak it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded at the 8. Look at the spin. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. The scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Lambeau, good night, everybody.